Hey there, folks. I'm Immahoneybadger. Let's play some Minecraft. However, we're not gonna really be playing. I want to do something a little bit different today, and that is to look into setting up a shader. That is very awesome. So let's look around here. You might notice something different. Actually, let me talk about the shader pack. We've got sodium, iris, and then light shaders, LITE. We're going to go into settings and do a clean slate. This is as it is 1.20.21. I have also added some other mods. Most of them aren't relevant except for this new one, Chunks Fade In. I love this thing. Did you see that? Did you see it? Because it's really cool. One second. I like to do this with an elytra. This is just a test world. So let me get up here. Okay. This is the basic shader, by the way. Gorgeous. Look at that water. Gorgeous, although there's a little bit of wiggle right there for some reason. All right, chunks fade in. Let's just start with just that. I've already got the settings done for this. Okay, so this is default, I'm pretty sure. Maybe some differences. Chunks fade in changes how the chunks visually look. It looks like they're coming up. It is so cool. Look at that. You can make it a little bit slower, but things get a little wonky when you start tweaking the settings a bunch. So we're just gonna stick with that, but it looks really cool. Okay. Yeah, it's just like just a little bit, but it's like, chef's kiss. All right, now, actually, let me go back up here. This is kind of my test zone. Now we're gonna talk about the shaders. I'm also working on picking texture packs. I have a couple. So one of them is 3D potions, Al's 3D potions. Pretty cool. Has a separate animation that actually empties the bottle. Another one, I like piecing together different things. There's one I want to try to find. I'm not sure if it's ready for this version yet, but it changes, makes all of the like basic crafting blocks, you know, anvil, cartography table, smithing, changes all of them into 3D. This one that I have found just changes the GUI. So nice little change here. And what was the other one? Furnace. It does all of them, but I just wanted to show you a couple. Nice little, you know, just totally visual. Don't need to do anything. There's another one that I like that I added. 3D doors. I love just a tiny bit. Doesn't change anything about the game except visually. It looks so much better. Let me do a little something right here. Spruce doesn't actually look that good. Birch, jungle. This one is called remodeled doors. And it's pretty awesome. Let's turn it off just to see the difference. Get a blinding loading screen. Pin looks like crap because, you know, for example, you can see the edge of this one. You can see the edge of this, but you can't, it gets cut off. So way better. Super low impact, right? So do this, and then I want to scoot it down by one. Not that it really matters. All right, way better than it was dark oak, and now you can actually see the other edge. Super awesome. And also every time I make any changes to resource pack or the shader, it refreshes all the chunks, so you're going to see the chunks coming up a lot. It's a little bit buggy. It's not a little bit buggy. It's only buggy when you change the settings and it has to reload all the chunks at once. Normally, in normal playthrough, I've flown around a ton. All of the things are excellent. All right, so let's talk about this one. It's incredibly lightweight. I've gone all of the settings high and no performance issues whatsoever. The one downside, let's talk actually more about the pros. Very customizable. You've got a whole bunch of different things. We'll go into all of these. Most of them. The one drawback is it doesn't do shadows. It doesn't know how to do shadows. I have tried everything in my power to fix it, but let me give you an example. Okay. This is not great because of the time of day, but see how there's a gap there? There's not supposed to be a gap there. And it's not compatibility. So it's just like this shadow is actually sort of correct. This one is wrong. So I've tried other shader packs, but they don't have the customization I want. So what we're gonna do, first and foremost, we just have to get rid of the shadows. It's just not gonna work. So lighting is the main thing, right, when it comes to shaders. And truthfully, it doesn't really look that bad without any shadows. So if I drop this, no shadow. If I see an entity, no shadow. Entities are a little bit bright, but other than that, like it not having a shadow, it doesn't break immersion that much, for me at least. You do have a little bit of shadow type feel, but it's actually just how it handles lower light blocks. So that is a shadow, but it technically isn't. It's not a physics-based rendering of a shadow. So now we need to get to optimizing and making it look and feel exactly how we want it to. This, I don't like this. Stuff does look a little shiny, but I kind of like it actually. There is a setting to lower the effect, so we'll get into that. So basic is like, what do you want? I don't want iron to glow. That doesn't make any sense. It makes, so yeah, you see the kind of glitchiness with that. We're gonna have a lot of that, but materials glowing. I believe it doesn't have a good list of what all the things are, but some examples are enchanting table. Pretty bright. Not sure how I feel about that. Redstone, though, is kind of nice. It definitely does glow. For now, we're going to turn it off. And I really wish that they had a hotkey to go to the settings. I don't think that they do. Glowing materials. Material gloss is, I believe, the shininess. Maybe I like it off better, actually. So let's just, pretty much you have to just go setting by setting. totally different, right? Pretty different. But I think I like it. It makes things feel bright. That is a little... I almost have a shadow. For now, let's keep it off. Wind intensity, I want to take down by 2, so we get waving plants and trees, especially. So you get this little wave, but this is just a tiny bit. Water is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I don't know how shaders actually work at all, but the water is awesome. Much better than last pack. The next major thing I want to address is this. So this doesn't look good in videos. There's a couple of different ways. Oops, sorry. Just heard a bat for no reason. This is pitch black, right? Now, I do like, it's called fake dynamic lighting. It's the same thing as lamp dynamics. So if you're holding something that emits light, it lights things up. So I'm gonna do 2 different things here. We're gonna set up kind of a mock cave type of thing. Okay. So personally, I really like how this looks. I like that it's got a good dark and light balance. However, what I'm seeing is probably a little bit different than what you're seeing. So we are going to look at a couple things in this lighting section. We can turn that off because we don't need it. So just in case it is, it does different colored shadows based on you know, lava is one color, torches is one color, redstone is one color, and the blue light, what is that called? Soulfire, all that stuff. God rays is just what comes through the shadow, the clouds, which that'll be separate, and also I think water. So night brightness, you guessed it, we're turning that up. Moon phase influence. Basically, we want night to be consistent amount of brightness, so we're going to turn this all the way down. Normally, if you've got a full moon, and this is IRL as well, you get a full moon, it's brighter outside. We want that to be consistent. I'm going to turn this down. I don't really know what it does, but just in case. Minimal light is where we can get full bright. So if I apply all of these, we're not doing this. This is supposed to be like pretty dark. So instead, what we're going to do, lighting, we're going to keep that where it is. We're going to put this around 8, and we're going to turn up light multiplier, because light multiplier allows for the depth of shadows while still keeping everything brighter. So the way I test this, right, you still get, oh yeah, it's kind of dark in here. This is actually still pretty bright. Maybe it wasn't on 8. You can still see this without me having to hold a torch, right? That's the ideal. It still is a little light for my liking. So we're gonna turn this up. See what the difference is. Okay, yeah, I like that. Break this down a little bit. Okay. Still able to see things, especially entities. This still feels bright, as opposed to if you had full bright on and just like, oh, this feels like daylight. This doesn't feel like daylight, but it also doesn't feel like it's completely pitch black, which is one of the most consistent items of feedback I've gotten. Okay, now we're gonna go back and deal with something really cool But before that, actually, I want to adjust the heat balance or temperature balance. Right, and we'll turn that off. It's already off, but just in case. Yes, fake dynamic light is the whole, if you hold a torch, excuse me. So we're gonna turn this to pale yellow. It just gets rid of some of this red so that things are a little bit more neutral, but still allows for it to be whatever color. So this is God rays right there. Very cool. Technically not shadows, but add a lot for ambience. The next thing we're gonna do is gonna be on the trees, and this one's really cool. I haven't seen this in a shader pack before. It is under camera. It is depth of field. We're gonna turn this all the way down. Depth of field is the coolest shader feature I have seen. You may not notice it right away, but you will. You look at something close, it gets into focus. Look at something far away, that focuses. It is so cool. And it's like, this is like a, you know, potato PC kind of thing. And I'm like, this is awesome. This feels so immersive. It feels good. And it's exactly where your cursor is too. So if I have a bow and arrow, right? And I'm trying to shoot around. Now it doesn't apply to your hand. Well, maybe it does. No, it doesn't. But that's fine. I'm trying to peek around a corner. That feels amazing. Love it. Really, really cool. It can be really gross if it's turned up too high. Let me turn this back today. So, next up, we have some stuff to do in camera as well. Trying to remember. We can manually increase brightness as well. Vibrance, I'm gonna turn down just a little bit. And saturation. Okay. I forgot where it is. Give me 1 second. Camera. Oh, motion blur. I don't like motion blur. And it kind of messes with the depth of field. We're gonna turn that off. Bloom. No bloom. No bloom. Next up is water. Not the way that water looks, because this is awesome. It looks phenomenal. This is a little weird. It's a bit too clear. You also, this is not a good example. 1 second. Okay, well, if I could go into creative mode, thank you. Here we go. This is better example. You get underwater reflections like that. That doesn't look right. Which actually, I don't think we can fix underwater reflections, but we can fix a couple of other things because I still want it to feel correct. So we are going to make this more opaque for one thing. We're going to use the style, which is the top texture. Watercolor, water fog, we are going to, oops, keep it for a second. Then we're going to turn it up. Because we want it to feel like you're underwater. This might be a little too high, actually. This is such an amazing game. Like, the fact that you can do this, make all of these different stylistic choices is awesome. Wave strength, I think I did low. So this makes it look a little bit calmer on the water. Caustics, I think is off. Oh, yeah. I don't remember what the actual effect of caustics is. So I don't really like the underwater reflection. Look over here. We don't really need that, I don't think. That's the only downside, is it reflects on the bottom and the top. That and shadows are the two things that really wish, like, it looks so vibrant and light and awesome. And then you've got the depth of field as well. So cool. I'm gonna love this. The only other things I don't have right now is a like base texture pack for everything. Like all of the grass. This is just default everything. So look at that. Ugh. So good. And it's like such a simple thing. It doesn't impact FPS at all, but it makes it look so good. Let me look if there's anything else. Minimal light. Maybe I can take this down a notch and go into camera effects and turn the camera brightness up. First of all, I want to see what it looks like. Just absolutely cranked. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So go to 1, midpoint, and then interesting. It does feel a little bit different. A little bit more dynamic. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. What do you think? I'd really love some feedback on this one, because this is, this is how it goes. I almost wish I could turn down depth of field a little bit more. This is the lowest setting, because if it's too high, it just doesn't look good. Trust me on that one. It's just like totally like this right here. It's just completely blurred. You can barely even see the texture. So I don't want it to be that strong. My mic is kind of in the way. So there's these. Yeah, these are good. I don't have AMD, so I don't want to mess with that. Sun reflection, circular. But I already did that. Oh yeah, clouds. That's the only other thing. Clouds are kind of tricky on this one. And come on, go faster. Yay. I don't want to have to just spam through everything. A little too bright almost. Oops. Why is this not going fast? Okay, there we go. Clouds. Let's talk about clouds. These are pretty good. Honestly, I might kind of leave them. I really like the blocky ones, not the Minecraft blocky. The only problem is you can't, with this shader, you can't reset sections of it. So if I just want to reset sun and clouds, I can't. I have to reset everything. Not a big fan of that. Let's crank this and see what happens. It breaks. It's back. So another kind of cool thing is you can make it look like the clouds are moving really fast. Pretty cool. I don't know if that's really my thing. I don't want clouds at the end. You know, that does, I'm gonna turn that down actually. Oh. Got rid of, okay. I actually haven't looked at the nether for the end. Oh yeah, right. Can I do? Ugh, fine. I don't know why that's not a command. obsidian. What's that called? Flint. It should be a fire starter. That's not bad. Yeah, okay. This is also much better. A little bit less. A little bit less. Fog might be good. Maybe I didn't mean to get rid of bloom. Fog intensity, lower. Render distance. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. Can see a little bit further because that's been annoying, especially if I get the spyglass. It's kind of useless. But that's pretty good. That's not bad. This is not best, although I do have it turned down a little bit. I was testing something, so I can turn that back up. But when I turn that back up, I also have to turn this back up. So a little bit better. Just a little bit further. But again, you know, the chunks fading in like that. Oh, wow. They're just so cool. There's also a separate texture pack that I don't think I was able to test. Oh man, to find my nether portal again, just even though it's creative. So stupid. Here we are. Yeah, I thought, I also am curious about doing the immersive portals, which is basically, the thing is I don't want to change the actual functionality of the game too much. Immersive portals allows you to see the nether on the other side through this right here. So the texture is replaced by basically a camera, and it's really, really stinking cool. But I think it also loads that chunk because it has to be able to be accurate. So I don't know. I don't remember if you can just spawn that. I don't remember if creating one actually works or not. I love that they have a sound. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, well, it's the wrong size for one thing. I forget. I don't remember things like that, you know? I'm gonna see my... This is why I don't really do things in creative very much. Like, does it have to be... Maybe I'll adjust those settings later. Ugh, well. Alright, so I think that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you what's coming up. Clouds look pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty doggone good. Field of depth. I think for me, the field of depth is particularly nice because I have glasses. So I have field of depth of field? Field of depth. 1 second. I think I'm saying that wrong. Depth of field. I have issues with that. My depth of field is like less than a foot of accuracy. So this right here, this level of blur is actually not strong enough. My vision without glasses is worse than this. So it's really cool to have that dynamic. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope to see you around. I'm gonna work more on finding a good texture pack that that's actually finished, as well as a couple more tweaks. I might get a couple more mods. I don't think very many. So again, it's never gonna break the original experience. It's just gonna be cosmetic, or at the very most, it's gonna be a little bit of a quality of life, because time is a constraint for everything. But like, look at this, man. Ugh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the thing is, like, it's running cool. I'm having some issue with it capping at 60, even though the cap is at much higher than that. So yeah, I have to take. Oh, also, speaking of which, I figured out how to. Every time I turn my computer off, it changes that. It's kind of annoying. So I figured out. They just changed how to do it a little bit. Oops, got some crackle there. Sorry. They just changed how to do it a little bit. So now we've got chunks, and I need to turn that. Oh. Wow, it shows you what can spawn on it. Very nice. Huh. So whenever I do F3, it'll show all of this all at once. But you also may have noticed on the top, I'll try to clean that up a little bit. We have FPS. Don't know what T is, to be totally honest with you. But we have also biome, which is awesome. But like, look at this, you know? Let me try to get a picture real quick. The lantern should look good. Iron bars. It just makes everything look better, man. Oh, that's so interesting. It doesn't register this as a block, so depth of field matches the sky. This actually should be emitting a blue light. Do regular lantern then. All these copper lanterns are kind of ridiculous. All right, let's do times at night. Do 12,000. Whoops. Why is it so much different? Oh, wait, good. Yep, that's perfect. Oops. Just muted myself. Oh, beautiful. All right. That's actually it. I'm going to go fix other things and try to find a good texture pack for y'all. Okay, cool. Bye.